It depends. Like, so for instance, I have a video on the psychology experiments, like the Stanley Milgram experiment, the Stanford prison experiment, which detail exactly the mindset that I'm talking about as well. And these are banned, psychological, unethical experiments. Scientists are confused. They don't know how it happened. And, it's like, no wonder once you start looking down the road of statism and these ideas that the psychologists are unaware of, the scientists are unaware of, you start realizing, wait, this is the problem. And I actually gathered a whole compilation of all the different Stanley Milgram experiments done on my channel. It's like an hour-long video where at the end it talks about how it's not human nature because there were people in the experiment who did deny to go along with the orders of the authority figure because they understood history. They knew also that not to suppress their conscience. So although the overwhelming majority did suppress their conscience, everyday average people suppress their conscience, willing to hurt their fellow man. That's what these experiments proved. Everyday people doing that. There were a few people who said their reason when they talked about it was, yeah, because I know it's wrong and I'm not going to put up with it. If I see someone saying not to stop it, I'm going to stop it. I'm not going to, you know, uh, obey the authority figure and not listen to this person who's clearly crying out in pain. This person who's telling me to stop. Like, I'm going to listen to them. But there are people who like continued the experiment despite the fact that there was this person crying out in pain, saying to stop the experiment, saying like we got to end it right now. That authority superstition overruled their whole emotional complex. And so you see this in health. Many people, oh, I'm doing my job, and they're harming many people and doing all sorts of experiments that are unethical. And by the way, it's not a surprise that it's considered unethical for any experiment nowadays to be done without consent. So if we apply that everywhere in society, we'd be pretty good, wouldn't we? Because every law is basically an experiment. It's somebody has a thesis of this is how the world will work if we pass this law, just like a psychology experiment. And they do it instead through the lack of consent.